96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
The aftermath of every social revolution brings about change. Cultural norms and landmarks shift as our minds and hearts expand beyond the familiar. To everything, there is a season and a time to every purpose in the land of the living. This is our time to renew, revive, and restore the hope lost to the busyness of life. This is our time to dig again and rebuild from the storms of our past on a solid footing that holds. Welcome to The Foundation.
The Foundation.
The Foundation is brought to you by Alive, Bonneville Bones, Burger King, Commonwealth Bank, ESC Distributors Limited, Grand Bahama News, Marco's Pizza, Printmasters, and Ron's Electric Motors.
Foundation. The Foundation.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. 96.9 FM radio. Howard Bannon, your company, The Foundation, live and in full effect on this beautiful October 2nd. Grateful to be in your company. Grateful to be in the land of the living. Guys, it is a wonderful day, and I am excited to kind of get into this with you today. I had an opportunity yesterday. I recognized that there was a hiccup, right? with the introduction of what we did with Mikhail Bonnaby. What I mean by that is that my server, so what I had to do is dissect the information, deduce it, identify those particular things, I analyze it, and then bring it back to you. That's what was normally supposed to happen. I was set to go, but so many persons, 212 persons actually took the poll for Mikhail Bonnaby over there in Mount Moriah, right? And so I was set to go, but I just got to apologize to you guys for that. I know a lot of persons ready to be able to kill me, but today we're going to be dealing with South Beach and Long Island. South Beach and Long Island. I'm grateful to be in the company. Before we dive into anything, I got to shout out my good decent people over at AFS Insurance Agents and Brokers. They got everything laid out for you. Make sure you go check them out. If you are in the market for your insurance, if you're looking for something like that, whether it's personal, whether that's residential, whether that is from a commercial standpoint, however you're going to be able to do this, family, however you're doing this, ensure that you go and check out my good decent friends over at AFS Insurance Agents and Brokers. They got everything laid out for you guys. 341-1-AFS. 341-1-AFS. They can take very, very, very good care of you in those particular instances and ensure that you are in a good position that you could be able to make some things happen for you and your family moving on to the future. And also, they do in-house financing. So find out more information from them, 341-1-AFS, number 407 Blue Hill Road South. Also got to shout out my good decent people, Avery Liborn, over at MST Rebar, Avery Liborn, MTS Rebar. They got everything for you, man. If you're in this kind of a market and you're building and you're developing your home and you're trying to be able to see exactly what's what, frpbahamas.com, frpbahamas.com. You want to be able to check them out and find out more information from him. He's absolutely wonderful at what he does. I'm sure that we're going to be able to see him one of these Thursdays, and he's going to be able to tell us more about what he's doing in that particular instance. He is to be able to move with creativity and innovation in those particular spaces. So shouts out to my good decent people over at Art Development with the MTS Rebar and being able to do all those things, Avery Liborn, okay? Now, guys, pick up your Guardian newspaper. This sort of a heart-wrenching thing to be able to see this. And then you start to ask yourself the question of how dangerous these fellas can actually get. They push in the envelope, they push in the button on a consistent basis of how we approach things, how we see things, and it's a scary thing. I just want to be able to say that as we look in the papers today, man shot dead while holding baby. 6-year-old baby girl was in car, and this is what the police says. All right, a man was shot to death yesterday as he held his 8-month-old daughter outside his home on Montgomery Avenue. This is right here in New Providence, while another young child was in the car. This is what police say. this must be, let me tell you something, PTSD ain't got nothing on this. This is crazy. I mean, for a 6-year-old to be able to kind of capture that and remember that throughout the course of their life is a serious thing. I mean, the criminals got to take some consideration. I mean, if you're going for your mark, my God. Anyway, let's not get into that. It's a crazy thing. Let's talk about the way that we're talking. Halkitis, no impact here for the U.S. port workers strike in short term. And this is what the GBPC rate review is suspended. GBPC rate review is suspended. I know that that's a good thing, but we want to hear more than suspension. We want to hear expulsion. Expel. We don't just want to hear suspension. We want to hear expulsion. All right. Government rejects S&P's conclusion on a weakened fiscal position. They reject it entirely. So let's talk about these things today, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said to you, we're going to be dealing with two constituencies. Now, what I tried to do is this. I tried my best to do two things in terms of dissecting who would go first. First, I wanted to give you a mix of the FNM and the PLP. I didn't want it to be heavy PLP, but, you know, this is where the majority exists in this particular space. But I was looking for persons who can be able to, who didn't necessarily have a portfolio, right? Or not an expansive portfolio like Minister of State and those particular instances. So I've been looking for that, right? We just happened to go with Mikhail Barnaby at the top, right? No, just as a random thing, but we've identified those things. We wanted to do local conversations. And in trying to be able to do that, we came up with this. So this was sort of the methodology and the approach of how we dissect this and the approach of being able to do these things, right? Now, I had an opportunity to be able to reach out to Barker's, Honorable Barker's role in his particular capacity as Member of Parliament for the constituent. And as I said to him, I just reached out to him and said, hey, listen, this is what we're going to be doing. And he indicated to me, okay, Howard, give me some time. I'm going to get back to you and tell you exactly what's what. I said, okay, no problem. You get back to me. I did not have a chance to get to him. I've been trying to get to him for a while. Y'all hear me calling up people names and desiring their numbers. I couldn't get it. But anyway, I had a great opportunity, was able to get the number yesterday from one of the members of Parliament. And as I reached out to him, he eventually called back or text back and indicated to me that he won't be able to make it. So I just wanted to give that kind of a courtesy to each one of the members of Parliament to let them know. I also reached out to Adrian Gibson, but I got no response. I've been trying to call Adrian Gibson now for months, right? Just being able to try to reach out to him to let him acknowledge the fact that we're going to be doing these things. I know everyone is in this sort of a position. They are very sensitive and listening out to see whether or not this could be a potential lawsuit. But no, we're talking about, we're talking about leadership, and we're just dissecting it from constituency first approach, right? So since we don't have any one of the persons in here with me today, and today is a Wednesday, it is a perfect opportunity to have my guy to sit with me, none other than Garth Roseborough. Garth, say good afternoon to the people out there, my brother.
Good afternoon, Bahamas. It's good to be here. Had a great weekend, Howard Grant, on my show Remark. You know, we had some men in the building and had our perspective on divorce. And the response from those people out there in Radio Land, they said the men sounded a little bit weak, like they were afraid. And so it kind of makes me look at politics a little bit differently, Howard Grant, as we sit here today and look at these different constituencies. I'm going to have the women come on this weekend, 5 to 6:30, to just discuss the same thing. And I'm almost certain the women are going to be much that. I know you're not surprised at all at some of the responses that you're getting from attempting to contact members of Parliament. Is this not the same cry we've been hearing from individuals throughout the country, far and wide, even abroad, that when you are in the process of voting, everyone answers their phone. But as soon as we enter into the hallowed house of assembly, you got to wait a day, wait 2 days, wait 2 weeks, wait 2 months. Some of you have not heard from them in 2 years. And here Howard Grant is believing that because he is the host of the foundation on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, that he should have some immediate access, seeing that if we're talking about them, don't want to talk behind their backs, that they would respond. What would it take for a member of Parliament to respond instantly?
But that's not my concern, though.
Do you have to be a family? You got to be a friend? You got to be a lover? you know,
If they come, we discussed this already. If they come, praise God. If they don't come, praise God. We still have a job to do.
but you
I'm
do
gonna
your
my
job. But if you do your job, you know they're listening.
Of course,
And you know the people
praise
listening.
God. Barkas, in his particular capacity, the member of parliament for
South Beach.
has asked me to provide a transcript. I said, no problem. I'll send the information over. In fact, I put a nice little package together for him, and I'd like you to be able to. Yeah, I put this nice little thing together here.
It looks
and
good?
Of course, I did it. So it looks impeccable. I did it. Right?
So, geez.
I just want to be decent with you. You know, I do my little homework things, right? So I did it, and I want to be able to put it together. Now, like I said, I never want to be able to. This is going to be a mix between the two, right? So I want to be able to read the polling information for all those persons first.
For all.
For all those. Well, there was 739 persons that took the poll.
What?
Every constituency in this country took the poll except one constituency. Every constituency, 38 constituencies. I have 97.43
For 38 constituencies.
for 38 constituencies,
Right.
except the one constituency
39.
for Cat Island.
Cat Island, Rumkeys, and Salvador. Gotcha.
Okay, so that's the only one. Now now it fluctuates. On an average, it was about 212. Well, on an average, is about 19 persons who took the poll for each constituency. But the truth of the matter is, it has fluctuated significantly. So Mount Moriah yesterday took 212 people took the poll.
Wow.
Within the space of 48 hours. 248
Do you
212
believe
people.
that there is an opportunity here for these people to be coached and put in a situation where, due to favorability, they'll participate in this poll? What a surety do we have a sure reflection of what's actually happening out there? Like you talked about South Beach, right? I got a friend, Kirkwood Paul. He lives in South Beach. He works at a convenience store. He sees people every day. Then I got my friend, Jervin Smith, who is a general in the area. And I'm almost certain that Jervin keeps his situation together for South Beach, for Barker's role. I'm certain that if he knew of this poll, he's going to tell his people, you know what? Let's get a part of this
We've
poll.
been talking about this for months, sir.
Okay, well.
We had it in the newspaper.
Well, you're saying the FM should have done the same thing then?
We had it in the newspaper. We had it here on the radio station. I've been talking about it for days leading up to this. Even from in August, we were talking about this. I'm not going to come to South Beach or any other space to look for you to do this. Not in a bad way. All right? Members of Parliament have their particular persons who have a responsibility to listen out. If they're seen important, then they ain't important. However, the results are in.
Well, let's get the results.
I feel like Maury. The results are in.
You feel like Maury?
I feel like Maury. I just want
Maurice eliminate. I don't need
Right.
it.
So, for
How much?
only 10 participants took the poll for South Beach. 10 participants.
Only 10?
Only 10 people took the poll for South Beach.
Is there a reason for that?
I don't know. I put it out there, and you just pull up the information. If you could look at it, you click on it, you make a determination which constituency you're in, you click on that, you do all those things.
Okay.
One person between the ages of 18 to 25, 4 people between the ages of 26 and 35, 3 participants between the ages of 36 and 45, and 2 people between the ages of 46 and 55. These are the only persons, so no one 60 plus took the poll. Okay. The voting behavior in the last election, 5 participants out of the 10, only half of them voted. This is the information that we have. This is the voting behavior in the last election. Did you vote in the last election? Voting participants, they indicated 5 of them said, yes, I vote. 5 of them indicated, no, I did not vote. The next question was intentions to vote in the next elections. 5 of them say, I intend to vote. 5 of them say, I don't intend to vote.
See, it's the same foolishness.
This is what's going on here.
The same
This is what's
foolishness.
going on here. Let's get deep with it today. So the
Jesus.
MP visibility, right? 10 of them, all 10, indicate that we have not seen our member of parliament.
Wait, repeat that again. I know I didn't hear that right.
This is not visible.
Who? All 10?
All 10 of these participants who took this poll indicated that they have not seen their member of parliament.
This is South Beach.
This is South Beach.
Now, I've seen that member of parliament. He had one little cookout down by where the pools are.
He's standing in been.
I'm telling you now, he had 2 of those that I recall that I just went by to see because, I hang out in South Beach. I hang out on the beach, under the cabana, play little dominoes, talk with the boys. But he has never never, ever, ever stopped under that cabana.
So if you were a participant here also, you would indicate that you have not seen your member of parliament.
But he ain't my member of parliament. I've seen him twice at a function down the street. I know I was invited to a Christmas function by one of his generals. But in terms of stopping and walking by on that beach, never seen him there.
Okay. So that is the next one. The next one is community involvement. All 10 of these persons, community improvements, right?
Listening.
Community improvements. All 10 of these persons indicate that there has been no improvements in the community.
That would be correct.
These are the 10 people.
As a matter of fact, they're having a meeting tonight, a branch meeting. I think Chester Cooper's going to be there. And I was invited by Robert online to attend with her. And I just may be there to listen to what they're saying myself. But
Okay.
I've not seen anything myself.
I'm going to send this package to
I've not seen anything myself.
I'm going to send this to the honorable member for South Beach today. Okay? Number 7. The 7th question was we just addressing key issues, right? And some of the key issues was crime, immigration. We just asked those questions
Listening.
within the survey.
I like this
Has
so
your
far.
member of parliament been able to address these key social issues and community-wide issues in the country, right? And this has been sort of the question that we asked, right? And has they been able to address it effectively in terms of being able to see
This
transformation?
thing really sounds good, you know. It's really impeccable, like you say.
This is what I did. This is
Howard Grant?
This is what I did.
You did. Your wife ain't do this. You do this?
No, my wife.
Well, you and your wife do this. Y'all is one, right? All right, go ahead.
She can take credit for it, but I did the work, right? So let's go, right?
Go ahead.
So the 7th question was whether or not they addressed key issues, right? All 10 participants indicated
Let me guess the answer. Okay.
not effectively addressed the key issues from a constituency-wide perspective. All 10 participants, right? A ministerial position, whether or not he's effective within his portfolio, whether or not he's a minister or not, if he has an additional responsibility, whether or not he's effective in his portfolio based upon your observation. One person indicated out of the 10 that he is effective in his particular capacity. 9 people indicated that he's not effective in that particular capacity. So it's 90% non-effective in that particular area, right? And then the last question that we asked, the overall satisfaction with the MP's performance. That was the last question that we asked. Are you satisfied with your MP's performance? The last questions that we asked. 100% of the persons that took this poll
Said no.
indicated that they were not satisfied with their member of parliament's participation, and they were not satisfied with what he was doing in the constituency. This is the information. The breakdown highlights the general opinions of the persons that took this poll within the South Beach constituency with significant concerns about the MP's performance and lack of community improvement. I just wanted to give that information up front. Let's take a quick commercial break, ladies and gentlemen, and get right back after this.
Foundation. The foundation. The foundation. Foundation.
Attention pizza lovers! Marco's is getting bigger and better! We're offering a deal that can't be missed. Head in and order a mouth-watering large one-topping pizza for just $10. You heard right, just $10. This offer is only available at our Southwest, Burnett Road, Robinson Road, and Prince Charles locations. Call in or order online and pick up in restaurant today. This amazing carry-out offer is available for a limited time only.
It's time to upgrade the way you enjoy at-home entertainment. Alive Fiber is here. Enjoy all your favorite channels and streaming apps, all at lightning-fast internet speeds with affordable bundles, and it's only a click away. Visit www.alivefiber.com to sign up now. Stay connected, live your life. It's good to be alive.
The Grand Bahama News is available every Tuesday in the Nassau Guardian. You can buy your local paper at Freeport convenience stores, Western Bakery, De Gregory's Fine Foods, and Bellevue Gifts. Now is the time to reach your Grand Bahama market with affordable packages, including print and digital. Call GB News sales representative Kavandre at 822-6717 or message him on WhatsApp for ad rates. Classified ads are now available every Tuesday as well. Keep up with everything Grand Bahamian every Tuesday in the Nassau Guardian.
Foundation. Foundation. The foundation. The foundation. Foundation. The foundation.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, 96.9 FM radio. Howard Grant in your company, the foundation, live and in full effect on this beautiful day. Grateful to be in your company, grateful to be here. Just wanted to kind of read that out so everyone could be able to hear. This is the...
Fenton Nemo.
Okay. This is the sort of commitment that we've made to you to be able to identify these particular things and move forward with tenacity, with strength, and just provide this information with a sense of transparency. These are the things, and I just want to be able to do this now. A lot of this information I was only able to capture offline. So we're going through it. I'm going through it. I kept going through it and being able to double check and triple check and make sure that these things line up accordingly to be able to identify those particular things, right? Now, it has said to me that based upon the information, there are, since 2002, now let's just be very clear. We started to have this conversation from 2002, okay? We're going no further back than that, right? It started to tell me about members of parliament such as Agatha Marcel, Cleola Hamilton, Jeffrey Lloyd.
Fenton Nemo. You have Agatha Marcel, which was at the training agency, followed by Fenton Nemo. Remember when he left in 2007, 2012, he wanted to run in Exuma. Remember he became ill. And then he was followed by 2012 was Cleola Hamilton. She was the nurses union leader. And then in 2000 and then came Jeff Lloyd. And then now we have Bacchus Roll. That's your lineup.
Okay, so I'm looking for it right now, right?
That's based on my memory and my knowledge of South Beach. Agatha Marcel, Fenton Nemo, Cleola Hamilton, then came Jeff Lloyd. Now Bacchus Roll. So it's been PLP F&M, PLP F&M.
And that is
PLP.
what it is said to me. After
Yes.
we've been able to deduce this, we did a SWOT analysis on the constituency. Now remember, ladies and gentlemen, our responsibility in this particular capacity is to dissect the actual constituency, the needs of the constituency, the position of the constituency, and how things are happening in those particular areas. And as we look at this, we don't want to go into this sort of a back and forth and this sort of an idea that exists with being able to dissect the leadership, but rather being able to look at the individual. But we're looking at the needs of the constituency. And these are some of the things that we've been able to come up with. This is the SWOT analysis that we've come up with, right? So it says the SWOT analysis, the strengths from 2002 to present. It says that it has diverse representation.
Yes.
That's what we've been talking about.
Flip-flopping.
The F&M, PLP, F&M, PLP. So this is a healthy democracy in this particular area.
Or a spiteful one.
Oh, spiteful. Okay. I like how you take it, right?
Okay.
It says South Beach has been benefited from MPs with varied backgrounds, healthcare, law enforcement, education, and the like, leading to a well-rounded approach to addressing constituency needs. They had significant community engagement. This is what they said. Each MP emphasized community development, indicating a consistent focus on addressing the social and economic needs of the constituencies. And this is also a strong educational advocacy, a lot of them. With Jeff Lloyd's emphasis on educational reform, there has been an increased focus and opportunities within the constituency. Now, the weaknesses. Inconsistent policy continuity. It says that shifts in representation between the FN and the PLP has sometimes resulted in the changes in policy focuses, making a long-term development plans harder to sustain. This is what they've indicated to me, okay? The infrastructure gaps. Despite ongoing efforts, infrastructural challenges such as road maintenance, healthcare facilities, and public service maintenance are persistent issues. And then the economic limitations. I think that this is one that actually spans for more than one constituency.
I'm listening.
It starts to talk about the constituency faces ongoing challenges related to economic empowerment, job opportunities, and access to adequate housing.
Listening.
This is what they say. Now, the opportunities that they have, that Marcus would have in his particular capacity right here with 2 years left, the opportunities that he would have is economic and housing development. Now, this is strong. This is strong because the PLP has made a significant commitment to be able to do rent-for-own homes and provide homes for and opportunities for persons.
Well, they have that new housing development right behind the police station. That's actually in the South Beach constituency. The one that's right there where the young lady got her house at a very young age. That is
the 18-year-old.
Yeah, that's actually in South Beach. That's why it was so significant.
Who also had.
I mean, I ain't getting into people business.
I'm just saying.
But the 18-year-old was supposed to be a symbol of the future that 18-year-old people could get a house in the Bahamas.
But what the symbol turned to? Now, let's read this. Let me go.
Yeah, we stay in focus.
I can
we can stay decent.
Economic.
Don't stammer. Talk straight and plain.
Let me get it clear. Right. Economic and
I mean to do that to you. Go on.
There is a potential for economic growth through job creation programs and housing development, especially under the current representation. Youth engagement. This is an opportunity now. Youth engagement with a focus on educational reform and youth development. South Beach has the opportunity to foster a strong community of educated and skilled individuals. This is his opportunities.
I can't wait to give my reflection on South Beach. Go ahead.
I'm ready to go. Right.
Go ahead.
So this is healthcare improvement. Building on previous MP's emphasis on healthcare, there is room to improve healthcare services and accessibility for the residents of South Beach. Now the threats, then we can talk about it. The threats is political instability. Now this was their strength at first, the diverse representation. Now the threat is also political instability. Changes in political leadership may disrupt ongoing projects and hinder long-term development. You know what this is? Stop, review, cancel concept.
Oh, yeah, right away.
Okay, so this is what it is,
Right
right?
away,
So
right
that
away.
pool may get stop, review, and cancel.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, so this is where we are, right? And then it goes on to say economic uncertainty. Fluctuations in the national economy can impact job creation and the ability to fund community projects. And then social challenges. Persistent issues such as crime, unemployment, and inadequate public service pose ongoing threats to the constituency's growth and stability. This analysis shows that while South Beach has seen shifts in focus over the years, certain core issues such as healthcare, economic opportunities, education, and infrastructure remain central to its development needs. The evolving priorities under different political leadership reflect both immediate and long-term concerns in the constituency. Go ahead and give me your reflection.
I had the privilege to grow up in Bamboo Town, which is right on the border of South Beach. Always been known for the canals, swimming in the canals. Always been known for the pools that were right at the end there. And South Beach has always been a family community. Always family. Mother, father, children. During the drug era of the 80s and early 90s, South Beach was overran with drug trafficking. So the lifestyle of people in South Beach escalated to a point where opulence was the order of the day. The Cedrics, the Laurels, the 300ZXs, the Ninja motorbikes. This is South Beach. You don't find one government spigot in South Beach. These are the people who were working at Patelco and back then BEC, People were working at the hotels over at Atlantis when Donald Trump owned the hotels, etc. Merv Griffin. These are where these people worked. A few of them worked out at the golf course out on Cable Beach. These were a working class of people who were doing excellently well. When street lights, I remember it used to be pitch dark in the back there back in the day when I was a child. Street lights came into South Beach and lit up the place. And so people had lawns, people had flowers. There was a healthy community. After the drug era, things began to fall off. So now what you're seeing in South Beach are homes that have been vacated like that in Grand Bahama. Homes that are vacated, dilapidated. Shingles got 5 different color shingles on the roof. So, they patching up the roofs. You see termited wood, roofs caving in, walls broken down, young men on the streets hanging out underneath the juju tree, because they got juju tree down in South Beach. South Beach is no reflection today of what it was yesterday. Attempts by the government have been met when they brought the South Beach Clinic, the South Beach Post Office and Library. Those are government entities that are placed in South Beach. But at the time when that community was growing, what the government could have done, I'm not going to say what they should have done because then it makes me feel as if I'm superior in thought, but what the government could have done is began to decentralize its government agencies and place 1 or 2 of those right there in South Beach. You got the Ministry of Youth and Culture. You got the Ministry of, let's give another ministry, other than Youth and Culture. Give me another ministry, anyone.
In South Beach?
Environment. You just place a ministry there because guess what? Everyone, if you go to the Ministry of Environment or whatever, everyone at that time was driving from South Beach Street. Everybody. Traffic jam in the morning. I mean, it was impossible. So at that time, seeing at this, you had this community of people that were progressive. You could have now begun to decentralize the island of New Providence and put some job agencies in the southern region of the country so that in the morning time, people had direct access to work. This is what you call future planning. It did not happen. The same thing that's happening now in Carmichael Road, down in Coral Harbor. You don't see no schools down there. You don't see no government agencies planted down there other than Defense Force. So if you look at even now today, the traffic that goes into Coral Harbor right now is becoming impossible. There's no planning. And so South Beach was guilty of changing its government, as you said, Howard, every 5 years. But it tells us something, that the people of South Beach don't tolerate crap. So if you messing up like how you had 10 people just now who participated in your survey, in your polling, and they are not satisfied, it is up now to the Free National Movement opposition or any other opposition to pull up their socks, pull up their britches, and prepare to win in the next general election. But if you don't do that, the opportunity that's going to be missed is going to be yours.
I want to be able to read something to you also. I want to be able to get this into you and for you to be able to hear this. I want to dive into this and talk about the possibilities. Now, this is something that I put together.
Listening.
It's called A Case for Re-Election.
A case for re-election.
A case for re-election.
You write movies, eh?
No.
You sound like a little Alfred Hitchcock type fella.
No, I just wanted to kind of make an assessment about some of the issues based upon what we found, right? Some of the issues based upon what we know that exist in this particular constituencies. A case for re-election for Bacchus Road.
Okay.
This is why I tell you I put a little package together for him.
My
So I
Lord.
send him the entire thing, right? So it says, for Bacchus Road to retain a seat in South Beach constituency in the upcoming general election, the following strategies based upon the historical needs of the constituency and recent trends.
Can I pause you one moment? You need to pay you for that.
No, that's okay.
What you mean that's okay?
No, I'm doing this for every one of the constituencies.
Everyone is going to get this free advice, this free
Everybody's
consultation?
gonna- yeah. None of them can listen.
You know they got a budget for that, right?
But ain't nobody can pay me for this.
Why they won't pay you? You look too happy?
I don't know. I may be too jolly.
But anyway, give them this one for free. Let's go.
So it says, address key constituency issues. Role must continue addressing critical issues such as job creation, housing development, community safety, and public service. Given South Beach history, improving economic opportunities and social services is crucial.
You said job security.
Job security.
Where?
He have to create this kind of a concept.
How?
That's up for him. That's where I get paid from. That right there.
But the government can't do that.
I get paid for the house.
The whole government can't do that.
Yeah, but then that's why they need people to
The
hire.
whole government
They get
can't do that.
$17 million a year
The whole council can't do that.
They're given to consultants who have to come and look for other consultants to ask them what's going on in the constituency, what's going on in the community, what's going on in the island. $70 million a year.
This is Howard Grant and the foundation. I got to talk to Howard straight now. Howard, homeboy, I can call you homeboy, let you know how serious I am when I say this to you. How the heck, I want to say some other words, but how you expect this man to do that?
That ain't got nothing to do with me. I am providing suggestions for retention in South Beach. We have seen the relentless fluctuation between one and another, F&M, PLP. We know that it begins with the Southern Corridor. This is what I said to Leroy Major yesterday. I said to Leroy Major, Daryl Miller coined this concept on radio. I don't know if he did it, if he heard somebody else say it, but I coined the concept on radio that says it begins with the Southern Corridor. That once we see the Southern Corridor start to change, which is Southern Shores.
We know that.
Which is Southern Shores.
Blue Hills.
Which is Blue Hills.
You got Golden Isles.
Golden Isles.
You got Pinewood.
Which is Pinewood.
Bamboo Town.
Okay.
You got Seabreeze.
And
you got
South
Elizabeth
Beach.
Estates. You got Yamacraw. You got South Beach. That's the Southern Corridor.
So
9 seats.
Once they identify that there is a shift in this particular area, there is the inevitability of the government changing. So I'm saying to you, for the retention of this seat, this is one of the things that needs to be addressed. And if he don't get creative to find out how we can address this, then he may have an issue leading forward. And this is only from the 10 participants.
He got one.
This is only from the 10 participants. Guys, you can give me a call. 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Anywhere for the family of violence, 242-300, 5720. Hit me up, 42247. This is demonstrating tangible progress in these areas will be a key to gaining the support of the constituents. That's the first one. The second one, strengthen community engagement. Being visible and accessible to constituents is vital. Roles should maintain an active presence in the community, listen to the residents' concern, and provide consistent updates on ongoing projects. Engaging with youth, seniors, and marginalized groups throughout the community and programs and events can help solidify his connection to the voters. There's only two. Let me take a telephone call before we go to a quick break. Caller, go ahead. Call on the line. Go ahead.
Hey, Howard, how are you?
I'm good. What's happening?
I'm locked in and I'm listening to the show right now, and you're on to something, Howard. I think that you make mention yesterday in regards to the show, in regards to the Southern Shores. Mm-hmm. One thing we didn't ask them is that these particular persons who determine the swing or the nature of an election, if these particular MPs are not placed in a suitable position, how is it that they are going to basically help the government to maintain their seat?
The government has not gotten to that position of calculation just yet. And you know that. We could have a transparent conversation. The government hasn't...
But Howard, if you have a member of parliament and he's in those crucial areas, we know the crucial areas, the Southern Corridor, we know the main towns, we know the center of the town.
Yes.
And you look at the center of the town as those representatives that represent those communities. In some cases, those statistics will show that they have some 6,000 to 7,000 persons in the constituency.
Registered, yes.
And so if you then are giving a position within the government, you're only a palisator. You don't sit to the table in regards to making certain things possible. And you're in these particular areas. How does the commander-in-chief expect you to perform when the reality is the potholes are not being done, the roads are not being paved,
I like this.
The people are still crying out, the roofs don't have the plywood like the gentleman would have spoken about. You still have people have shingles we're missing from Matthew time. We're really talking about the Dorian. We're still talking about so many civic issues and social ills and people going to social services. I mean, it's crazy.
I like what you said. I appreciate your telephone call. We can dissect this when we get back and talk about these things. I got 3 more. Quick break. Be right back after this.
The foundation. The foundation.
You try to rest, roll with the best. For all your printing needs, there ain't no one better, no. For posters and banners, magazines and flyers. For window decals, greeting cards and newsletters. No job too big and there's no job too small. You name it, we can print it. Just give us a call. Let print Masters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
The Whopper with cheese at Burger King Nassau has never tasted so good. It's made with 100% flame grilled beef that's juicier, topped with fresh ingredients as usual, and even fluffier buns. Get a regular Whopper with cheese combo for only $9, including that, and enjoy a Whopper that's bigger, better, and tastier. The only place to get your Whopper with cheese combo is at Burger King Nassau, where it's grill time anytime.
Great news! Ron's Electric Motors' new location on Cowpen Road, right next to Island Luck, is open Saturdays and Sundays. So for those needing repairs on electric motors, generators, welding machines, water pumps, battery chargers, transformers, and power tools, Ron's Cowpen Road location can have you up and running on weekends. Don't forget, you can still visit Ron's Electric Motors on Wolf Road and Claridge Road, and now Ron's new location on Cowpen Road. Dial 356-0249 or 323-5267.
Foundation.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, quick 5 minutes before we get out of here. I see that you guys are here. Now, this is just 2 more things I want to be able to say, right? This thing generated 6 concepts and ideas that we can be able to deal with for South Beach more specifically after I generated all this information in the system. And so it tell me these particular things. So I broke it down, make modifications to it, and I'm presenting it to you. I indicated this is a case for re-election, right? Address key constituency issues, strengthen community engagement, and this is important, and build on previous achievements. We talked about that, highlighting the success of the areas like healthcare, accessibility, educational facilities, and public infrastructure improvement that showcase his commitment to meeting constituencies' needs, drawing on work of his predecessors and presenting a clear plan for the future to developing and helping build the trust in that community. The next one, promote economic development. Roles should focus on creating job opportunities and supporting small businesses within the South Beach constituency. Now, you look at these things and you only look at the surface. You believe that how? I see your eyes. I can see you looking at me. I can see you, sir. I'm looking at you. You looking at me. How, Howard? The SBDC has created opportunities. The Development Bank has created opportunity. The Bank of the Bahamas has created opportunities. All these particular things, if you link with them and identify the entrepreneurs in your constituency and support them moving towards this could be a feather in your cap. I just want to be decent as I say this. Next one, maintain environmental efforts. Given recent mangrove preservation in the Bonefish Pond, maintaining a focus on environmental conservation aligns with the constituency's geographical concerns. Continuing to champion projects that protect natural habitats will resonate with residents who prioritize environmental issues. So you identify your niche audiences and you amplify that. And then last thing, transparent communication. Being transparent about the challenges faced in implementing policies and openly communicating his plans for the constituency's future can build credibility. Leveraging social media platforms and town hall meetings can enhance outreach and foster a sense of community involvement in decision-making process. This is Barker's role. Overall, he's gotten a D in that constituency, 50%. He's gotten a D in that constituency, just from the persons who've actually taken the poll. Overall, he's gotten a D in that constituency. And so we want to wish him the absolute best. He's not gotten a very good grade as it relates to visibility. He's not gotten a very good grade as it relates to engagement, but there is still hope.
I got a quick solution for him to win that seat. I got it. I know exactly what he could do. But I ain't talking. You almost get me to slip. I hear so much nonsense just now. I almost slip and talk my business.
Nonsense?
I telling you, man, you talking this thing. It's almost like you trying to write a book to say, how does a member of parliament make it to heaven? You know they ain't going there. They ain't even want to go there. They're going straight to hell. The amount of lies they tell, sweetheart, and they doing, and thieving they doing. Come on, man. My people. You can't do that.
I can't do that. What you want me to do?
But all that talk is...
I'm telling you, this is the information I gathered. I analyzed the information. I dissected accordingly.
That's information.
And I want presented professionally,
that's
sir.
Information for decent people.
Well, I'm just hoping I'm talking to decent people today.
You think so?
I hope to God I'm talking to decent
In the
people.
anyway.
The 10 of them people who voted for him, half of them decent, at least.
All of them might be decent. But I just saying the MP now ain't showing no decency.
My God, you do.
I down in South. I down there. I ain't just talking about this place. I down. I can tell them exactly what to do. I down there.
Ladies and gentlemen, up next we're going to be able to talk about Long Island constituency. Listen,
We gotta cut it short. We can cut the line short today.
It can be short island.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to have a good conversation. I want you guys to join me on the other side of the news.
The foundation. The foundation.
This is Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
Are you tired of the injustice, inequity, and being a second-class citizen in your own country? Are you tired of not being put first? Why don't you take the example of our little sister, Elutra, who went white? Yes, they ignored the cliques and the colors, and they went white, meaning we are not into all the talk, all the jabber. We're into seeing fairness and justice and righteousness in our land. We're into seeing Bahamians put first in our land again. True Bahamians. We are interested in getting what is ours. We know the wealth of this land belongs to true Bahamians. Well, Bahamians, if you're tired of the injustice, the inequity, and being second class in your nation, take the example of Elutra and go white. Let's do a 10-10 and do it white. Let's do it on the 10th of October at 10 a.m. Show up in white in Rawson Square. Show the numbers of us that want to see different in our land, that want to see real change in our land, that is for Bahamians, that put Bahamians first. And let's make it even more visible by starting to wear white now. Wear a wristlet, wear a wristband, wear a headband, wear a scarf, wear a shirt, a pants, a skirt, anything visible white from here to the 10th of the 10th. And let's show them that we exist, that there's a vast majority of us that want to see change, real change for Bahamians, that don't care about the cliques anymore, that don't care about these groups that have become gangs anymore. We want change for us and for our future generation. And we want to see it now, like our sister, our little sister Elutra. And watch what happened. They ran to show that there can be change. So if that took them to a vocal voice, when a clarion call is made by a persistent group of people that say, I've had enough, that's it, then why can't we in this entire nation do what Elutra did and show the leaders of this nation that we want real, relevant, righteous justice in this land. We want real change. I'm a Bahamian, and I endorse this message.
This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news, intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversation. 96.9 FM.
Foundation. Foundation.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, 96.9 FM radio. Howard Grant in your company. The foundation live and in full effect on this beautiful Absolutely gorgeous October 2nd, 2024 in the land of the living here on a Wednesday, sitting in the studio with none other than Garth Roseborough, just being able to break down these things. And we gave you an assessment of what was happening at the top of the hour with Barker's Row, okay? We talked about South Beach. There is intimate knowledge about South Beach and those particular areas from God's perspective, right? The intimate knowledge associated with that, and he's being able to give us good depth and detail about that. And then there's also this perspective that the persons of the polls have taken. Now to Long Island, okay? Long Island. We decided to be able to deal with Long Island, and being able to deal with Long Island, we wanted to kind of break down the information and talk to you about that. Let me read the polls first. Then I can come to your telephone calls, okay? And you got to be quick with this so I can be able to get all this information out, okay? So it says the poll breakdown in Long Island constituencies. The number of participants in this poll were 2 people, just 2 people, only 2 people. Only 2 people from Long Island hit the poll.
North and South?
I don't know. They didn't. Okay. No, I don't ask the specifics. I didn't ask the constituency.
They must be taking care of the sheep.
So one participant was between the age of 25 and 35, 26 and 35, and the other was between 46 and 55. They took the poll, right? So it says the voting behavior in the last election, only one participant out of the 2 voted.
50% again.
Isn't this peculiar?
Have mercy.
This is 50% again. Okay, let's go back. Okay, so it says the intention to vote in the next election. Now here in Long Island, you get 100% intention to vote in the next election.
Oh yeah, they're responsible people.
Yeah. So they can vote in the next election.
Long Island people responsible.
So it says MP visibility. Number 5. Have you seen your MP in this particular capacity? Right. Boom.
Yes, I think it's yes.
One said yes, the other said no, so it's 50%.
Wow, okay.
So it's 50%, okay? Next question. So he says, community involvement. Have you seen any improvements in the community and so forth and so on? You get 50% again. One says yes, and the other one says no.
I would have thought so.
So this may be North and South. I don't know.
Yeah, or disconnect.
There's a disconnect happening here somewhere, right? Now, number 7 is a strong one for the 2 of these persons. We asked him whether or not he was effectively addressing issues in the community, like crime, social issues, and the like. Is he effectively addressing those particular? Both of them said that he's effectively addressing that. Both of them.
Yeah, they're loyal people.
They said he's absolutely 100% effectively addressing that. And then I asked him whether or not he's had a ministerial position, whether he has a portfolio. You know, he's a Free National Movement member, and he doesn't have that. So they says no. Okay, so that one's not there. So it says in the overall satisfaction with the MP's performance.
Yes.
100%. Both of these persons said that they're 100% satisfied.
Yeah, that's the seat.
With his performance.
That is the F&M seat.
That's the F&M seat. So it says, the poll indicates that although there is a mixed view of the MP's visibility and the community improvement, both respondents feel that the key issues have been effectively addressed and express overall satisfaction with their MP's performance.
The only way Long Island would lose that seat to the F&M, to the PLP, is if the F&M put one of my other brothers and sisters, the Haitian representative, down there. If you got a Haitian F&M go down there, they're not over.
Well, that ain't gonna happen because there are some constituencies that you look at.
That's the only way that can happen.
Okay. Let's see if I can take a telephone call. Caller, we're talking about Long Island now.
Yeah, Long
Caller
Island.
on the line, go ahead.
Good afternoon, Howard. How you doing?
All is well, Sparky.
Yeah, good day to you. Nice show yesterday. You say you're talking about Long Island now?
Yes.
That's the only thing you're talking about, Long Island. I don't know much about Long Island. I've never even been to Long Island. They say they must come from Long Island, but I know nothing about it. But I'm born in Chippenham. But I wanted to say something in regards to Mr. Barnaby yesterday's show. I realized that you didn't let nobody call in, or maybe it was not enough time.
I didn't. No, Mr. Barnaby. Okay, so because he had so many, I couldn't evaluate his 212. I had done it before, but when he came on, I couldn't be able to present that. That's why people was kind of sweating me for it. The numbers spiked overnight.
Yeah, I do understand. In fact, I understand if any of the MPs come in, it's difficult for you to talk with them to get out everything you're trying to get out of them in 2 hours, plus the breaks. And people wanted to call in as well because
Okay, Sparky, you can call back when we're dealing with these things. Let's just deal with Long Island. We're still dealing with Long Island. We have a lot of things to be able to deal with as it relates to being able to move forward.
So let's talk about what we know about Long Island. Long Island is traditionally an FNMC. Long Island was
2002,
independent.
Larry Cartwright.
Independent. He was independent at what he was an MP first, and then he became independent. So in 2007, Larry Cartwright was an FNM, and in 2012 he ran independent, and he won in 2012.
No, he didn't. Loretta Butler Turner won.
In Long Island, Loretta Butler Turner was in Montague.
Loretta Butler Turner was in Long Island between 2002 and 2012 and 2017, when she had a fallout with the member with
in the House of Assembly.
In the House of Assembly, she had an
Assembly.
indifference
You're right.
with the leadership and the Free National Movement in this particular stead.
But he
she
ran
was a
independent.
member. Who, Larry Cartwright?
Yeah, but he
Larry
ran
Cartwright supported her in a particular capacity. He ran as an independent, I believe, in 2002, and then he walked the floor to the Free National Movement during that particular time, right? So he got in twice. He got in 2002, 2007, 2012, Loretta got in.
That's what I meant.
2017,
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Adrian got in, and this is Adrian's second time around.
You're correct. That's exactly what I was trying
This is
to do.
Adrian's second
I'm trying
time
to get my
around.
dates right. You're right.
Okay. This is Adrian's second time around. This
You're
is
correct.
An overall observation, the Long Island constituency has consistently favored the Free National Movement in every election since 2002.
That's correct.
This is what they indicated. Right? The poll responses indicate that the division in opinions on MPs' visibility and community involvement suggesting that potential shifts in voter sentiment despite historical party loyalty.
That
That
correct.
50% that we talked about.
That's correct.
Okay. Let's see if we can take a telephone call. Caller, go ahead.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good, man.
No, this is calling again. Was 2002 that Larry Cartwright went into the House as an independent?
Yes.
And then he shifted towards the Free National Movement.
Yes.
Vice
But
versa.
just calling, could you release the results from yesterday?
I'm going to put this on my...
Yes?
Yes, I'm going to put all this stuff on my stuff.
No, man, we were here, right?
You mean
got
yesterday?
some Needles.
Yesterday?
Yesterday, Mikel Barnaby and D.Y. Major.
Okay. So
Thanks
if I
so
get
much.
time to be able to... No problem, I can do that. Now, and if I get time to be able to break it down, I will do that for you. I'll say to you right off the top, right? But so you got to let me finish dissecting this. Top 739 persons. The majority of those persons, 212 people, took the poll for Mount Moriah. And when we started to talk about South Beach, Southern Shores, 24 persons took the poll for Southern Shores. 24 persons took the poll for Southern Shores. So let me deduce that information, dissect it accordingly, and then put this package together and send a PDF out for all persons to be able to consume the information. So afford me that opportunity, all right? So it says... Adrian Gibson's position as a member of parliament for Long Island. Adrian Gibson, the member of parliament for Long Island, Bahamas, first won his seat in 2017 general election as a candidate for the Free National Movement. His victory marked a continuation of the Free National Movement stronghold in the constituency. Following the tenure of Loretta Butler Turner as a young and dynamic politician, Gibson was seen as a fresh face who brought a new sense of vigor and enthusiasm to Long Island's representation in parliament. This is Gibson focus on initiatives in Long Island prior to his legal issues. I just want to be very clear with this. This is before his legal troubles. Adrian Gibson demonstrated a focus on several key areas aimed at improving the quality of life as an MP included infrastructure development, which was road repairs and upgrades, water supply. You remember he was in that particular position. He focused on long-standing issues in the water supply in Long Island. He advocated for and initiated water supply improvements, including expanding access to potable water in areas that historically suffered from shortage. This effect was aimed at enhancing the quality of life for the residents and promoting agricultural and other economic activities dependent on a reliable water source. Economic and tourism development. Gibson advocated for economic growth in Long Island, particularly through tourism. He emphasized that the island's potential for sustainable tourism capitalizing on the natural beauty, historic landmarks, and culture. His push for promoting Long Island as a tourism destination aimed to create jobs and stimulate the local economy. And then he's supporting local businesses. Alongside tourism, he supported initiatives to foster local entrepreneurialism with a focus on small business and agricultural ventures. By boosting these sectors, Gibson sought to diversify the local economy and provide employment opportunities for residents, right? And then it goes on to say education and youth engagement. As a former educator, Gibson had a keen interest in education and youth development. He supported local schools and advocated for educational resources and enhanced the learning environment for students in the constituency. Next one was healthcare. Gibson is in the efforts to improve healthcare services in Long Island. Environmental protection, next one. Recognizing the natural beauty and ecological significance of Long Island, Gibson also expressed concerns in environmental conservation. So his legal troubles. Now, despite these initiatives, Gibson's tenure as an MP was faced significant challenges, especially following the involvement in legal issues. He's become embroiled in court cases and included allegations of corruption, perceived corruption, alleged corruption, and financial mismanagement related to the role as executive chairman of the Water and Sewage Corporation. This debacle has affected his public image and raised questions about his effectiveness and integrity as an MP. Now, this is how he generated this kind of an information. As a result of these legal battles, there has been a shift in the perception of his leadership within the constituency. Some constituents have expressed concern about the ability to continue focusing on Long Island's need amidst his legal struggles. The situation has led to a decline in confidence amongst some voters, potentially impacting his influence and the FNM's position in Long Island moving forward. The current constituency focus is, in light of the legal situation, Gibson's current focus on Long Island appears to be more defensive, aimed at retaining his seat and rebuilding trust among his constituents. While he continues to emphasize his previous efforts and projects, the effectiveness of his ongoing initiatives is perceived to be hindered by his legal issues. The split opinions observed in the recent polls highlighted the constituencies divided over the performance and presence, which due to the FNM's historic stronghold in the region, while others questioned their future effectiveness. In summary, before the legal troubles, Adrian Gibson actively pursued improvements in infrastructure, economic development, education, and healthcare within Long Island. However, his focus has since shifted due to his legal battles, impacting his role as a representative and leaving constituents questioning his capacity to address their concerns effectively. Talk to me about it.
Well, what I'm looking at here, Howard Grant, is that for Long Island, that this particular member of Parliament, Adrian Gibson, he won by 55% of the votes. Mm-hmm. That's a close margin for a
Tyrell
seat.
Young was on his behind.
Yes, what I'm saying now, with the allegations that you're speaking about, does that now affect that 55%? Now, I'll tell you what has happened in the last 2 days. You know, I tell you what, I like to hang out every now and then. I don't hang out too much. I'm a homebody. But yesterday I was in South Beach, and a gentleman from Long Island, I'll give you his last name is Smith, but I'm not going to tell you what he does for a living because then you'll know what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. But he actually lives in Long Island. Mm-hmm. He's visiting Nassau until Thursday. Mm-hmm. And he said that, you know how we vote in Long Island, but this time, you know, if we ain't feeling something, you know what we got to do. We working with who we feel from. And I thought that rather peculiar. For that, I met someone from Long Island in Adelaide. They were visiting an establishment in Adelaide. And his last name is an Adderley. He's an Adderley. So, you know, the Adderleys, they Long Island people. Mm-hmm. And he said, man, all my life I've been voting FNM. I only know FNM. And he lives in New Providence on the northern side. So he knows I'm talking about him. I'm not going to call his name. And he said that, listen, man, for the first time in my life, I'm ready to vote PLP as a Long Islander. Mm-hmm. So I'm wondering now if the people of Long Island are beginning to shift in their way of thinking in terms of party loyalty. Because as far as he's concerned, he said right now the FNM is non-functional to him, and the PLP is now beginning to do some projects.
All of them could say the same thing from Long Island. They know better than that.
They got to vote F&M.
They don't have to vote anything, right? They don't have to. Sparky, you can see your text. So it says, Howard, you're unfair. This is what Sparky say. Sparky called the show and say he don't know what I talking about, but he won't talk about it, but he won't talk about. This is the issue that Sparky and I has. You're texting now, you're telling me I'm absolutely unfair for not being able to give you a chance. I didn't hang up on you, Sparky. I told you that I never hang up on you. That's not my responsibility. That's my job. That's not my job. Right? So forgive me. Right? But I just want to be able to participate in what I put a lot of work into this.
Yeah.
So let's just be able to dissect this, right? Now, Long Island people can tell you whatever they want to tell you with their mouth.
You think so?
Yeah. There was a joke that I heard one
There's
time ago.
55% of the people.
There's only 2 people take the poll. There's a joke that I heard one time ago about Andress woman, right? Say,
oh no, you got to be decent, Howard. Today's only Wednesday. You
tell
say that for Friday, man.
I tell you with a joke to say. Right?
Man, I don't talk about Andress people like that, man.
I like them. I love them. I love Mango Key people. I enjoy them. I always do. So they said, Andress woman could say no with their mouth, but they put yes in the sound with their toe. I laugh. It was hilarious. And it's the same principle that's being applied here as it relates to a Long Island's commitment. See, when Larry Cartwright was an independent candidate, it was a prerequisite. It was a prerequisite that when we vote for you, Larry, you're going to have to walk the floor. That's what happened.
But how would you wrong?
The Free National Movement sent someone else to Long Island. Long Islanders indicated that don't go so. And they voted for Larry Cartwright, and so said, so done. Larry Cartwright stepped over and committed himself to the Free National Movement. That's what happened.
But I'm telling you that Andress women say yes with them out now, and they say yes in the sand.
So they gone transparent, 100% transparent.
Yes, sir. Yes,
so
sir.
you think Long Islanders do the same thing?
They may just become transparent.
Yeah, because I can tell you in the last election, there was some significant numbers out there. I'm trying to pull up my numbers from the last election to be able to identify those things. Thingham did
Who's Thingham?
Wonderful.
Who's Thingham in the
Tyrell
bush?
Young. I think he lost by 60.
By how much?
By 60 votes.
Last election?
In the last election. I got to pull up the numbers right now.
I got the numbers.
Right, in the last election, Tyrell Young by 60 votes.
The last election.
How I know? Because Tyrell was calling me from Long Island. And I wanted to interview him because I was doing my patio politics. Tyrone and Adrian was calling me from Long Island. The election day. I say, Tyrell, you will get this. Tyrell say, Howard, we working hard. We can get this. And he missed out by 60 votes. By 60 votes. So this is strong stuff that we're seeing happen here. And I don't know whether or not because Tyrell is actually also a Long Islander. And when you look at these traditional spaces, they like to be able to ensure that they have a homegrown flavor inside of the House of Assembly. There are some constituencies that require you to be from this space to represent us. And that is what's happening. Long Island has been, for the most part, one of those particular constituencies. Now, I don't know the connection that they had directly to Loretta Butler Turner, but her historic value and recognizing these particular things, I don't know whether or not it superseded anything, but she had a great representation, a great run, and she did wonderful in that particular space. You understand? She tried to go back individually outside of the confines of the Free National Movement, and she was soundly rejected. Because this is where the constituency sits. This is where they live, and this is what happened in these particular areas. So when we're looking at this, there is some assessments that we make. And I want to be able to read a few of those for you, so you can be able to see that. So it said, a case for re-election. Everybody getting a case for re-election. A case for re-election. To secure the re-election, the Member of Parliament for Long Island, Adrian Gibson, would need to focus on 2 key objectives. 1, obtaining the party's nomination, and then winning the confidence of the constituents in the general election. Now, I don't know whether or not we're too far gone for any of these things to happen.
130 votes is what he lost by.
130? I thought it was 60.
130.
Let me look at this particular.
I looked at it. Only 72% voted.
Okay. So it says, securing it. 1, address legal issues with transparency. This is just the information that we want to be able to put out there with all sense of transparency, with with vulnerability. We ain't trying to get in his business. We ain't want to talk about those particular things. So what we're saying is that, given his current legal troubles, Gibson must address these concerns directly with the party's leadership. He needs to provide a clear account of the case and emphasize that these issues will not hinder his ability to serve the constituencies effectively. Transparency and openness can help restore the trust within the FNM, showcase past achievements. Gibson should highlight his accomplishments during his tenure, particularly in the infrastructural development, improvements of water supply, and support for education and economic initiatives in Long Island. He was a superb MP.
Okay, so
can I say that to you? He was a superb MP.
He was superb in his right. So let me ask you another question.
His youth, tenacity, outlook, vision, casting for the future, inclusion, concepts, ideas. He was a superb MP on paper.
So can I put the question to Howard Grant? If culturally the Free National Movement under the new leadership of Michael Pintard decides that it's not a healthy idea to endure this debacle and just remove him from
it's almost impossible to
the Tennessee list.
No. That'll be oxymoronic. And that'll be oxymoronic, and that'll be a contradiction
of
the position that the Free National Movement has given Michael Pintard, Shannon Dawn Cartwright, and
you putting all of them in one box?
Excuse me. Listen.
You putting all of them in one box?
Michael Pintard, Shannon Dawn Cartwright, and Dwayne Sands of leadership. They cannot look at anyone and call them the kettle black. They can't. They have to. They have to approach this with grace. They have to. They must, because the party approached their situations with grace and gave them opportunities.
So what are they going to do with Menace then? You call the kettle black?
I don't know. Menace is a different. He's a horse of a different.
I heard your music, I got to try to throw a little wrench inside the wheel.
He's a horse of a different color entirely. He's a horse of a
different red horse? Or the black horse? Or the pale horse? He ain't the white horse?
Well, to keep up with you, a lot of got to ride the white horse. Let me just be able to. Let me take this commercial break, ladies and gentlemen. Be right back after this.
The Foundation.
The Foundation with Howard after this.
The Foundation. The Foundation. The Foundation.
Do you have uncontrollable debt? Are you ready to make that move to Fidelity for a stress-free future? These loans have a built-in savings plan that pays you unbeatable interest. Ask about our debt consolidation loans today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
Bonneville Bones, established in 1970, is the leader in men's fashion in the Bahamas. We're conveniently located in the Mall at Marathon and the Harbor Bay Shopping Plaza, and fully stocked with everything you need for all occasions. Our Harbor Bay location is one door north of Alive, with the black and white signage of Bonneville Boutique. Both locations are open from 10 to 7 through Saturday. Bonneville Bones and Bonneville Boutique, still the leader in men's fashion. Located in the Mall at Marathon and the Harbor Bay Shopping Plaza.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Foundation. Foundation.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, 96.9 FM radio, Howard Grant in your company. I'm enjoying this show today. And I just wanted to be decent. I didn't want to get salacious. I didn't want to be able to kind of give any inflections about any particular position, especially as it relates to Adrian Gibson and his particular position. He is still the member of parliament. When we get to North Abaco, we're going to have the same conversation. When we get to Marco City, we're going to have the same conversation. When we get to St. Barnabas, we're going to have the same conversation. When we get to any of these particular to talk about whether or not this view is causing people to make a determination to move contrary to what their political voting pattern has been in the past.
So far, before you take your call, I think you call on your lines. So far today, it almost seems as if everything is going in the Free National Movement's favor, based on what you're reading to me. Am I
It's only two
wrong?
seats we're dealing with today.
But I'm talking about today.
But it's only 2 seats we're dealing with today.
Yes, and so those 2 seats, which way are we leaning with those 2 seats right now? Based on what you see, based on what you're hearing, give me your analysis, quick. Conclusion. Would you say?
You're not going to squeeze me in the corner to say F&M.
Well, you just said Parker's role. You said he was a D. You said he was a D.
He was a D based upon
and you
the 10
said that,
people.
and you said that this F&M gentleman, Adrian Gibson, in Long Island, is doing excellently well. So that's 2 F&M situations
Hold
of
on,
favor.
that's what I say. You need to stop.
You didn't say that?
I said
You said he's a good MP.
prior to his debacle in court,
he's a great MP.
He was a superb MP.
And then I said,
despite the fact that Long Island has traditionally voted F&M, despite that, he was superb in the infrastructural development, the focus, the areas that he's actually been able to amplify, despite the fact that he has done what he's done and he's in court for those particular things. It doesn't negate or take away what he's applied to in that constituency. But it now puts us in a position to evaluate whether or not we're going to give him a third opportunity.
That's
to
not up to us.
Forward.
I'm saying to you, if the Free National Movement gives him the nomination again, based on his production, more than likely, Long Island will vote for him again.
Now, you and I know that there has been many a man traveling.
Don't worry, you just travel now. I mean, talk traveling, that's arcing them conversation. But let's use another word. Let me
Many
see.
a man visiting.
Yeah, okay, good. I will get you in no trouble, you see. So I'm watching your back. So go ahead.
There have been many a man visiting Long Island constituency to show their face in the place, to see whether or not there is a feel for them. Even when Minnis was preparing himself to be able to put himself out there, even though he said he was on the book run, pops out of the plane, Granville McCarthy. You remember this?
Yes, I remember that.
You remember this, right? And there was a warm reception for Granville McCartney.
Warm?
There was a warm reception for Granville McCartney, right?
Okay.
Now, prior to that, there was this sort of a showing that I got wind of the current chairman of the Free National Movement going down to Long Island.
Yeah, I like this.
To catch a feel. Just a little feel.
So hot, warm, or
Catch
cold?
a little feel.
Hot,
Right?
warm, or cold? Weatherman, you're a weatherman.
No, but based upon the information because I wasn't there, I couldn't tell you the weather.
Okay.
But the information I got, it was rather frosty. I just want to say that.
Well, you better take them calls. You get yourself in trouble today.
Let me take a telephone call. Caller on the line. Go ahead.
Yes, good morning, God. Good morning, you, Howard. Hey, God, give me a call when you can.
What's up?
This is C. Alan Johnson.
What's up,
Let me ask you a question. Do you guys believe that Bahamians vote for what is economically rather than what will be?
No.
In their current condition, they will vote for what is rather than be. The reason I said it is this, right?
Bahamians vote for their immediate
They vote for their
condition.
wallet. Their economic position, if they don't feel they're doing better than what they would before, and have no expectation that it's going to improve.
I don't think so.
Okay. They do. That's why you have in and out, because Bahamians have been looking for a long time, at least for the 20 years I've been home. They've been searching for an opportunity and an ownership economy.
I don't think
and
so.
people have been putting this down in paper. They've been trying to find their purpose. They've been trying to and they have a desire to dream.
But see, Alan, statistically, the numbers don't indicate what you're saying. Statistically, the numbers. Statistically, if you look at the opening of the training center on Gladstone Road, if you look at the SBDC and the development that they've put, if you look at the Fresh Start program, if you look at the Jump Start program, if you look at all these initiatives that the government has ensured that they put in place to support those persons who are looking for a job and prepare those persons to move in the particular direction, then you would know.
Howard, see, let's use that argument. Numbers don't lie. Generally, what the SPDC and all the other programs have done, do you notice that we have given out millions and millions of dollars for the company that made it? Because generally speaking, if you go from an international standard for business development, funding for any business requires 3 years funding before it even can expect to make a profit. And so when you give an individual just enough to start, you have basically sentenced them to failure. And that has been evident, and it would be of exactly done. So I'm being realistic, and this is the problem: is we talk about the feel-good antidotes that has happened, but individuals know the impact that it had on their lives. When we look at the fact since the 90s, we've had no real economic growth that has kept up with inflation or with our population growth. So what is it that we have done to combat that? And go from 97 on, from 2002, flip back and forth, because no one has found that sweet spot where the majority of Bahamians finds an inclusive economy. It is made in the documents or promises, but it hasn't panned out to reality. And if you take the time, Howard, listen to every single leader going back to 2000 and leading to 2007 election, they have said, I didn't get done what I supposed to have done every single time. I can give you the sound bites. So the point I make is that look at the economy. The three major keys of the economy is totality is one, financial service and banking, and the construction industry, which brought about that growth that met our goals. The question is, where have there been an inclusive economy and an inclusive economic model that allow Bahamians to dominate these? We hear ministers of tourism for years say we are short 15,000 beds in New Providence. We are short 20,000 beds in Grand Bahama, 12,000 beds in in Abaco, and on and on and on. But what has been done to have those things bring in? And I use this as an example from the tourism minister say the 6 million tourists brought in $300 million and the 1.6 million tourists brought in $2.2 billion. Do the comparative analysis of that. So that tells us that growth. What do we need to do to have these beds? We need to build. Isn't that a construction industry? We have now a housing crisis, and listen to the Tourism Development Corporation. They're giving funding to have people turn homes into bed and breakfast when we are facing a housing crisis. So you're saying let's take more of them out of the market.
Now,
so they can
there is a level of complexity to your conversation. For instance, a lot of these transitions and transformation that has happened, especially in Grand Bahama homes, let's just shoot straight. And here in Nassau, a lot of people have lost their home. The Tourism Development Corporation made this announcement a couple of days ago. No, but I'm saying to you that announcement only could be for the transition, for those persons, if you're eager in this kind of a position, for those persons who want to be able to transition their house. For instance, my mother and my father are the only two people home. My mommy got a humongous house in Maroc. I asked, I said, Mommy, why don't you turn the house into an Airbnb? She said, boy, you know your daddy ain't want nobody around him, right? Me and my mommy talking, right? But we have almost like 6-7 rooms, nothing to do. Listen, humongous rooms.
No, I'm familiar with your house.
Right? And they could be able to do all these things. And I said, why don't do this and why don't do that? And then create a space in the back there. Let's put a little pool back there and create a space that persons can be able to come.
They didn't say it, but Howard, they're talking, we have people who will make application that owns apartments, efficiencies, and I know people.
But you can't live in your apartment and make it Airbnb.
No. They have apartments, duplexes, triplexes, and whatever else. I know people on Grand Bahama. One person right now with a sixplex that call and ask, "Do you think that's $10,000 per unit?" and all these other things. So he has tenants now, and he's thinking, "Well, I'm getting $600-700 a month. Maybe if I just rent these for 10 days a month, I'll get $1,000."
It's not a bad idea in Seattle, and I think we got to stretch this out. I don't think it's a bad idea.
No, but I'm simply saying to you,
I don't think it should be an Airbnb.
You pulled me this way. Howard, let me just finish my point.
Go ahead.
Unless the Progressive Liberal Party can initiate an economic growth program that will actually impact families over the years, and you guys talk about the corridor in New Providence. Watch the explosion that happens in Grand Bahama and transcends itself into the other 17 constituencies. And so unless you can bring some form of a transition for individuals to believe that you are capable now of executing it, the only thing left is for the FNM to make fatal mistakes to lose the next election. Because we go to a simple majority, 20 seats.
The mistake.
I appreciate you, Seattle. I got to go. I got a next telephone
take another call.
Yeah, I got a next telephone
call.
Go
ahead, take your call.
I
wanted to respond to that, but go ahead, take your next call quickly.
Call on the line, go ahead.
Howard, Graham, how are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
Hey.
I'm wonderful. I was listening to you. I respectfully disagree with you with Eugene Gibson.
I can't hear you properly, though.
Yeah, I don't know if your phone muffled, but go ahead.
Adrian Gibson gets along run on Long Island again. I mean, the F&M under Michael Pintard support is nonsense. Because guess what? If someone is being caught up in nonsense about hearsay that he bothers young children, would you put that man in responsible for dealing with children again?
Now, you muffle, I can let you go, but I can be able to capture what I said. I can be able to kind of repeat what you said, if I'm clear. All right? Now, he's indicated to me that he doesn't agree with my assessment. He doesn't agree that this could be able to happen because it indicated the F&M will fall. They fall in line with this, what was happening. And I've already said this. The F&M has already done this.
Yes, you did say
They already do this. They already do this. Okay. The F&M Council have extended grace. To Michael Pintard, the F&M's council has extended grace. Cartwright, the F&M council has extended grace to Dwayne Sands. Dwayne Sands, by the way, despite what has happened in court, despite him separating himself and being, quote unquote, unceremoniously discharged from the cabinet of the Bahamas, despite those particular positions, Dwayne Sands lost 75% of the time that he went for election in Elizabeth. 4 times he gone. He lose 3 times. He lost 75, and they still extended grace to Dwayne Sands. Now you mean to tell me a man who has won 2 times in Long Island, the council they can't garner no. I just want to be decent. We're not talking about the specific allegations. We are talking about the fact that they find themselves against the same proverbial rock and a hard place. And whilst you could be able to extend the olive branch to some, you reject others. How could that be?
Yeah, I don't think they have much of a choice when it comes.
They got no choice
because of the leadership bench.
The only way that they could win this one, in terms of not being able to identify him as an incumbent, as someone who has a track record that he has, they have to go to the constituency office in Long Island for them to be able to reject him. That's the only way that could happen. Or he has to gracefully bow out.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Boy, I tell you, out of time.
I tell you, this show short today.
Well, the lines are lit up.
Yeah.
I wanted to respond to see Alan Johnson, but let's go to break.
Quick break. Be right back after this.
Yeah.
The foundation. The foundation.
The foundation. We'll be back right after this.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank want.
Bahamas, are you ready? Keep the vibe alive. Music group, along with Alpha Sounds, present the best of the best. Rake and Scrape Explosion Reloaded. This is the biggest one-day all-Bahamian concert of the year. Featuring KB, D-Mac, Abby, Mama D, Fan Sean, Shine 242, The Falcon, and more. Mark your calendars. It's going down November the 2nd at Super Club Races Ground. Tickets now available at BahamasEtickets.com or both Beauty Shack location. General admission $60. VIP, Skybox, and Skypods also available. For more info, call 394-0819 or email keepthevibealive242@gmail.com. Experience the magic once again with more legends for one night only. Come party with us November 2nd at Best of the Best Ocean Reloaded.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
We got less than 10 minutes. Let's be able to get these things out and be able to dive these. Y'all got some interesting texts here. Oh, God. Let me see if I can read a couple. This is Howard. Dwayne Sands was not charged for bribery in the courts. This is the text is coming through, right? It says Agent Gibson had a slew of various questions, behavior beginning with his arrogant announcement that he should be a cabinet. Oh, Jesus. Anyway, I suppose that this is internal party information. Then he says, Howard, you really hate Dwayne Sands. Uncanny. I do not hate Dwayne Sands. Why can I not talk about information that's existing for all of us to see? because you don't deduce it like me. Why you think it's hatred? That don't even make sense. Anyway, so it says, are we talking about Grand Bahama, Long Island? I'm confused. No, we're talking about Long Island, right? It says, Howard and Garth, his having roots in North Long Island, I have seen much of what Adrian has done, including the paving of the Monument Road to spark tourism. He has done well. I'm hoping that his court case is completed before the next election so he can go forward cleared. Oh, what is this? I lost it. Oh, Lord. Hold on. Or step back and support another F&M split for the F&M votes. It's the text is coming through. All right, so it says, Howard, this is a classic show. I got my notepad and my lemonade. Voting habits and the political culture of the Bahamian people needs to be improved. High-level thinking. Thanks for evaluating the Bahamian approach to leadership. Let me take a telephone call. Caller on the line. Go ahead.
What's happening, Howard?
I'm good, man. What's happening with you?
All right, let's get back to Adrian Gibson.
Okay. Now, hold on now. Before we do that, don't get into his personal business. We just talking about...
No.
Good. Go ahead.
No. We ain't doing that.
Okay, praise God.
The question here is, what has he done that MPs before him have not done?
If Adrian could tell you he has created a space for potable water, if he could...
No. I'm not talking that. I'm talking the stuff that he's on trial for.
Yeah, but you can't go into
that. No. I want to talk about that. I want to talk about his trial.
No. See, we can't talk about that. But that's in the background.
Of course it's in the background.
You got to leave it there.
It's in the background, but we talking about when we talk about his infrastructure. Well, okay, let's talk about this initiatives that he's done in Long Island.
No, he ain't want to talk about that, but you can't talk about the other thing either.
Yeah.
So right now, really and truly, we can't really talk because it's a problem. So the problem is with the members of the constituency, which is Long Island, and with the Free National Movement as an organization. They got to deal with that. This is an ongoing
case in the court.
And the judicial system. Those three entities got to deal with that.
Yeah.
Okay, so on the table now,
yes,
is the idea of creating some kind of moral framework to deal with what
it's the church.
No. Hold on. No. The constitution of each political organization has a framework in place, requirement.
Hey, you all need to listen here.
We're trying to, but you keep going to
you keep getting back to the man personal business.
We ain't getting to nobody personal business.
Okay, go again. This is the last time. Go ahead.
Right.
Okay. We're trying to create a moral framework, right? Now, we're trying to create a kind of judgment we need to bring against Mr. Gibson, okay? Whether in his constituency, whether in Parliament or through,
okay,
or like through the legal process.
Mm-hmm.
Now, many have gone through this gauntlet before.
Mm-hmm.
Some have survived, some have not.
Yes.
And for all intents and purposes, it looked like Mr. Gibson just may survive. Now, see,
how you could forecast? I gotta let you go. I can't fight you. He's my good guy, but I can't fight. I don't want to get into that.
He on the edge, boy.
He
got to be on the edge of my seat.
He teetering on the edge, and the information is inaccurate.
But it's something
there has not been so not since the Commission of Inquiry.
See, that's repercussions you're dealing with and consequences.
Not since the Commission of Inquiry have we seen this formality in this particular space.
I don't even want to talk about it that way.
I just want to be decent.
Could we go on?
Okay. Yes.
All
he is talking about is social allegations and political speculation.
I don't even get near that.
I don't want to get into that. Let's get into the next telephone call. Caller, go ahead.
I won't get into that.
Hey, good afternoon.
Hey, what's up, Anton?
Hello.
Hey, what's up, Anton?
Yeah, hello.
How y'all doing?
All is well. What's up?
Just on it, literally. But announcement that was made by tourism recently, right? Which I find to be, and Howard, I like the way you handle that call with Sea Island, just for the record, because there has been a lot of initiatives that have started under the Christie administration that have been expanded and carried forward on steroids under the Davis administration, right?
On steroids.
like the training program happening out there on Gladstone Road, right? Like the enrollment in BTBI, like the expansion of education that is taking place, and they're recognizing even more now, but being proactive in execution of education in the country, that not all students are going to be purely academic inclined, but a lot of them are going to be vocationally inclined, and we need to expand into those areas. When we look at what's happening in the society, we recognize that the demand is certainly there, but the government has not been meeting that demand in terms of professional skill sets for Bahamians, which is what leads to the large numbers of the importation of foreign skill sets into the country year round, especially in the hotel sector, right? Another thing I want to hit on is this thing with tourism that was recently announced regarding funding to assist Bahamians.
Now, Anton, I got 3 minutes to go. I ain't finished with Long Island yet.
One more minute.
Go ahead.
30 seconds and 1 minute I went.
30 seconds.
That Howard and Garth and the nation is one initiative that could be revolutionary in the country, because as we know, the demand for heads and beds is great. As we know, the spend for heads in or overnight tourism is far superior to those coming by cruise ships. As we also know, we have a shortage of bedroom availability, hotel bedroom space, which is what we need to keep pace with. We are being outpaced in the region, tourism-wise, with the amount of hotels in other parts of the region, certainly than we have in the country, because we have been falling behind in terms of getting those numbers up in order to expand the tourism sector.
Anton, we can talk about that. Let's talk about that when we talk about Exuma. Right. When we talk about Exuma, we can dive deeper into that. I just want to be able to wrap up on Long Island, okay? Now, Seattle actually brought that information in, so I just want to be able to wrap up. Now, this is a case for re-election. We start to talk about addressing the issues with transparently, showcasing the past achievement, engage in party delegates and local FNM executives. In the Bahamas, securing the party nomination often involves the support of local party delegates and executives. Okay, outline a clear vision for the future. To gain the FNM's nomination, Gibson must present a forward-looking plan to address both the constituency's need and the party's broader objective. Seek support from key party figures. Let's just be very clear. Let's be very clear about this concept and idea, what exists in this particular space. Now, everybody may be sort of hands-offish on this approach, but it is undeniable what he's done for the constituency of Long Island and his youth with vision in the past. So, seeking support from key party figures, building alliances within the FNM, obtaining endorsements of influential party figures can significantly strengthen his case for nomination. And winning the seat of Long Island in the upcoming general election, he needs to be able to rebuild constituency trust. Now, that may be strong, it may be hard, but I don't think it's impossible, okay? Rebuild constituency trust. He must focus on tangible achievements and improvements. He must present a future-focused agenda, infrastructure, economic development, youth engagement, healthcare, so forth and so on. He must demonstrate visibility and accessibility, and he must engage in key stakeholders and local influences. Run a positive campaign, leverage the FNM's legacy in the in Long Island, and implement a quick win projects. And that is the show today. I am grateful for an opportunity. We're getting a good mix of reviews. If it wasn't for the legal issues that he has, it sounds like, based upon the information, he may be sort of a shoe-in that particular space. But we know that he's dealing with these things. I am not here to say do away with the man. I'm not here to say do away with Barker's role. I am simply giving a case for re-election. And in the event that that case is not met, then we know the inevitability thereof. I want to thank you guys so much for being able to tune in today. Garth, you want to say two things?
I said still have FNM day today. Looks more favorable to the FNM today. I don't know
These
how
are
you
two
felt about it yesterday.
constituencies.
There's only two, but if you had two out of two, who would lean into what? PLP or FNM? Today. Only today.
Today.
Yeah.
Yesterday wasn't the same thing.
Okay, that's what I'm trying to say to you. Each day got to be something. It's either a tie or as you culminate everything together, then we can have an outcome. But I want to know so far.
I like how you did that. I never thought about doing it like
so
this.
what's my progress report? That's all I want to know. What's the progress
Okay, so
report?
today is F&M.
Okay, what was it yesterday?
Yesterday was PLP.
Okay, so
No, yesterday was PLP, F&M.
So now the F&M got 3, and the PLP got 1.
Okay, so this is how we do it.
Okay, that's what
I didn't know how this is how we do it.
But this is what I want to know.
Well, I guess this is how we do it. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the show today. I want to thank you so very kindly. Tomorrow, we're going to chop the thing down and dive deeper into good conversations to talk about where we are in this nation. Tomorrow is going to be Kirk Cornish and Iram Lewis. This is going to be crazy. Yeah, I'm not going to do small business days tomorrow. I told you. Guys, it's going to be a good show. I thank you so very kindly. Tomorrow, we're going to chop the thing down. Have a great day. Have a good time. We're going to see you tomorrow, God's Spirit, right here on The Foundation.